Hello, good day to you, good morning, good evening, depending on your location, on your and where you're watching it, maybe in recording. So, if you can hear me, look at the screen, join the chat, say hi, and we will start just in a couple of seconds. Apologies, there was a slight technical issue. Anything can be, whatever can be fixed will be fixed. Yeah, you can hear me. Hopefully now you can. Sorry for clicking. Don't worry, I'm staying here with you and start just in 1 second. Thank you everyone for joining, and we will cover a very important topic today. Hopefully you will be glad that you've spent time with us, not somewhere else. Perfect. Yeah, finally, we've got a reply. So, apologies for slight technical issues and delays. Welcome, ladies and gentlemen. Today's topic, as you've already seen on the screen and you saw on the title, is professional prospects and economic opportunities in Russia. So, we will discuss just this topic, but yeah, without delaying any longer, let's begin. And but first thing first is like, who are we? We are LR Consulting. We're an independent NGO. We've started our work not so long ago. But we are eager to help anyone and everyone who is looking to move to Russia. And what services can we provide to you if you want to move from Europe or US or other parts of the world to Russia? First, we are trying to inform you about what are the realities of staying here, finding out what it is like, and what kind of what to expect overall. And second thing is work and economic opportunities that we will talk about in today's presentation. And later we will discuss homeschooling and higher education. On the later date, we will have a separate stream, but overall, this is information also that we want to provide to you, since it's a very important topic when you're looking to move to another country. And of course, the most important thing is we provide legal help consult you on what you can do, what you can do in terms of your visa, how to prolong it, how to get the temporary residency permit or citizenship, if you're trying to repatriate, if you actually have relatives in Russia, we will help you and advise you on that. So please, you're always welcome. Look at our website, join our Telegram channel, get in contact with us, email us, and we will answer all your questions. But looking at today's presentation, what we will discuss is first, we have a short overview of Russian economy and what it's like today. Second thing is we will discuss a little bit about work opportunities in Russia and working culture overall, what you can expect, how people actually discuss work matters in Russia, and just touch on some little bits of this and that. And of course, we will look at a few industries and what are in demand in Russia, and just explore the opportunities that are waiting here for you. And at the end, we will have a Q&A to answer all your hot-burning questions. So, first thing is how is Russian economy is doing? With all the loud headlines and sometimes scary news, there is always a worry that it might be not only dangerous to come here, but also fruitless. But worry not, as this peculiar headline from The Hill informs us, well, somehow Russia is chugging along, and well, chugging along is pretty well. First, Russia is has a fourth largest GDP in the world by purchasing power parity. And if you look at the last year, the GDP growth was about 4.5, 4.7%. Unemployment currently stands at about 2.3, 2.5%. So basically, everyone who is looking for a job will find one. And if you look at tax rates, Russian tax rates are quite modest, especially compared to European countries. There is a variety of opportunities in terms of how you can set up your company or your personal business. Because, for example, you can work as a self-employed person and pay a lower tax rate, but if you're just working on your own, for example, as maybe a teacher, carpenter, or something like that, or if you want to work and employ a few people, you can be registered as a legal entity, as a legal person, as individual entrepreneur. And yeah, there will be slightly higher taxes, but again, you will have a bigger endeavor, maybe something like a car shop. It will fit it nicely, or some other such endeavors. And of course, there are other organizational forms of companies, but we won't touch on those in today's presentation. But yeah, overall, Russian economy is in good health. It's growing. There is lots and lots of demand for workers. As I mentioned, the unemployment rate is quite low. So basically, any professional field that you look at, the competent people are needed there. And please give me just 1 second. And moving to the next question is like in general, what it's like to work in a Russian company. Some of them are quite different from others, and we are trying to like generalize in widest sense of the word. But let's start with some positive news. First is the role of HR in Russian companies are very limited. So if you meet an HR person, it's first when you're getting employed, going through the onboarding process, bringing all the documents, and the second time is usually when you leave the company or getting a promotion. Sometimes, yeah, there may be some instructions on fire safety or something like that, but it is very rare. Maybe there are even some other people involved, not the HRs themselves. And yeah, basically, it won't be an issue. Some meetings, pointless meetings, discussing this and that things about corporate culture are very rare. In terms of companies, some Western-styled companies could have them, but even there, it is not that often that you will encounter such events. So this is first thing that is good, I would say, about Russian companies. The second one is in terms of rest, you are legally obliged to have 28 days of paid vacation a year. And it's not counting holidays. That in Russia, for example, small aside in terms of cultural moments, in Russia, Christmas is celebrated on the 7th of January. And before that, big celebrations are held on New Year's. So usually the holiday starts somewhere on the 30th or 31st of December and continues past the 7th of January, Christmas, to the 8th. So this year it was 11 days of holidays, and it's not included in paid vacation. Yeah, for everyone, basically. Yeah, and there are some additional celebrations during a year. For example, there is also like during the month of May, there is a Victory Day, and before that, May 1st and May 2nd are also state holidays. So, in general, people in Russia like to work, but they like to rest as well. One more thing that I would note about working for Russian companies overall, it's the corporate culture is not as strong as could be in other countries. Overall, people are not tied to their jobs, to companies. Yes, some trying to get promoted and staying at their place of employment for many, many years. But a lot of people are spending on average for 4 or 5 days, as in many other countries, as in many other countries right now. So yeah, there is lots of positives. Well, and but you should have. It's not unexpected, but this is like it is. So yeah, generally, as I mentioned, yeah, people are quite hardworking in Russia. In terms of maybe some things, as one of my English friends mentioned that, if in his opinion, Russians are workaholics. Well, at least from what I've heard, it's not like that. But yeah, people usually work hard, and sometimes they are ready, or maybe even often, to take overtime, and really very responsible, and trying to give everything they can to be in their profession. And yes, of course, people are different. Fields of employment also are different, but this, I would say, it's like a general impression for you. At least from my side, I would say it's mostly true. But let's move on, and a short break for a short quiz for you. But what is the most popular profession in Russia among arrivals from United Kingdom and United States? You have 10 seconds to answer. A is a spy, B is a teacher, C is lawyer, D is a cook. And unfortunately, we won't be paying you for the right answer, but well, it's just for fun. So, just a few moments for you to think on it. And what you've guessed A. Well, close enough. Maybe if you look at news, it could be spy, but actually the correct answer is B, teacher. Quite a few people who are coming to Russia from English-speaking countries, becoming an English teacher, and even now when there is geopolitical shifts and so on, people still learning English. They are learning English in schools, they are learning English at companies, so the professionals are in high demand, I would say. And even if you initially don't have a teacher's background, but you are looking for something new and for some opportunities, there is a high demand for English speakers in Russia who can teach kids, who can teach grown people to speak language correctly. And there are two options mainly how to go by and where to teach. These are private schools, and they come with their advantages and disadvantages. But mainly, if we look at the advantages, of course, stable job. And second thing is you get summers off. In Russia, the school year starts from September 1st and ends on the 30th of May. And excluding the classes for kids study for 11 years. So 10th and 11th grade are more like they get some kind of specialization, and they get at the 9th grade, they have a sort of graduate exam after 11 years of also they get the graduate exam. So yeah, for teachers, there are usually some additional job at the end of after the end of May, in June, and before the September starts, so maybe a week or two also to prepare for the school year. But usually, teachers get 2.5 months of a rest in the middle of the summer. So in those terms, if you prefer long trips during warm time and enjoying Russian nature, or going back to your country of origin, it's a good option for you. And also you will have a better exchange of experience since you will be around other teachers. You can talk to them, understand their approach, just communicate better. And when people are moving, to have this work relations, it could be of huge importance. And maybe the most important thing on the list is you can get the work visa when you are employed by a private school. You have to be invited. You have to have an employer to be an employee to get the work visa. But the other option is private, to be a private tutor. And here's the drawback is you can't get a visa like that, but it doesn't mean that you won't be able to work. You first have to get the temporary residency permit, and then yes, you will be able to work as a private tutor. And of course, compared to schools, being a tutor gives you flexible hours. You will get higher income since you're not only teaching kids, but you can also pick and choose who you're teaching. You can find companies that want to increase their employees' level of English. So there is a bunch of options how you can set up your teaching, and you can go online, you can go offline, and so on and so forth. So your creativity in those terms is your main weapon. And sometimes schools can be very, very tiresome and tedious, and lots of kids, not everyone wants to learn, even if it's a good school. So understandably, being a teacher one-on-one with students who want to study, and grown people and not kids, it could be way more comfortable. But here, we want to share with you an example. I would say, friend Nick Renton, who actually came to live in Russia last year in 2024. He's working as an English teacher, and he found quite a success in his short career in Russia. I would say that the biggest secret, hopefully Nick won't be angry with me, but his biggest secret, his secret weapon, I would say, was that he learned Russian and speaks Russian very well prior to his arrival. And knowing the language is your competitive advantage in being English teacher, of course, in Russia. It is very important, no doubt. And yes, he is in high demand, and this is a field that is quite successful if you work on it, and no competition can stop you. And there is some competition, but again, the demand is quite high. So hello to Nick there. Moving forward, but the being an English teacher, if it's not your cup of tea, maybe you maybe don't want even to stay in a city. Maybe you want to go to the country and have a little bit of rest and, well, and hard work. But farming, of course, in Russia is a huge sector. Lots of farming goods are produced in Russia, starting from wheat and all kinds of grain cultures. And, first things first, of course, Russia has vast fields and fertile ground that is called Chernozem, but also we have huge production facilities that produced cheap fertilizer and huge amounts of land, huge amounts of fertilizer. You have great amount of productions in terms of food. And during the years just, I would say, after Crimea joined Russia. I think it was about 2014. Yes, there were lots of reforms that helped Russian agricultural sector to be strong and to be independent, because after the USSR collapsed, the system of producing and sharing food was quite broken. Distributing food was quite broken, and things had changed, and they've changed for the better. But currently, for many reasons, there is a huge demand for workers in Russia. Well, it depends. Of course, it's somewhat related to the ongoing conflicts on one hand, and on the other hand, there is birth rates that are unfortunately not as high as we wished them to be. But again, there is a lot of agricultural companies looking for competent workers. But not only big agricultural companies, there are also small farms and independent entrepreneurs that starting their businesses and growing them into the successful, huge endeavors. And in terms of professions that in high demand, well, everything basically from harvester drivers, mechanics, agronomists, and all sorts of experts and professionals. And if you look at job listings, you will see that the salaries for these professions are comparatively quite high in terms of if you look to other professions, and it will be starting somewhere around 90,000 rubles. That in terms of, it may be not as impressive as other, like a programmer could be, but you will can take into account that many of them will provide you not only with a salary, but will provide you accommodation and will feed their workers as well. So basically, it's money in your pocket, and you will be able to save everything you get and have good work on the land and be in high demand. So please, if you're interested in work in this area, or even if you're looking to buy some land and set up your farm, well, we can talk about it, get in touch with us, and maybe we can even organize a separate stream, but please, we're waiting for your replies. But in terms of success stories, one of the most famous farmers in Russia, heads of holding that is called Ekoniva, that produces dairy products, is Stefan Dur. And he came to Russia in 1994 and started his own small farming business, and currently it is a huge company that has over 100,000 dairy cows and over 630 hectares of farmland. And you can just go to the shop nearby, as I did, and just took this picture. And here is dairy products, milk, from Stefan Dur's farm. So you can come to Russia and build your milk empire if it's something that you're looking to do. But moving on, Russia is not only farmland. Russia is not only teachers, but Russia is actually a powerhouse in terms of IT. And here's a few IT companies that are famous not only in Russia but outside in the world. Even though they are working primarily with Russian audience, but not only them. But here is Yandex and VK. Yandex, if you don't know, is the sort of a Google of Russian internet. It provides many services. First of all, it's search, but it's additionally maps, taxi, and other services, deliveries. It has its sort of Amazon part, and apologies, and many other branches like food delivery and so on. And VK is basically a Russian version of Facebook that controls a few networks, social networks, including ВКонтакте, but also Одноклассники and some others. And yes, they are quite prominent. Also, they have a video hosting of VK. So also very impressive, very strong company. Services of both of those are just unavoidable, and but it's not like mandatory, but they're very useful in their sense. And the other, maybe you will have heard of the security company Kaspersky that unraveled quite a few suspicious programs on the computers from all parts of the world. Some say it's Russian spyware, but one man's spyware is another man's anti-spyware. But the company is actually quite competent. The founder, just a remarkable person who got his education back in Soviet times, and well, the IT didn't grow out of nowhere. There were lots of people who can thank Soviet education system for giving them this rigorous knowledge that they've applied in their careers in the future. But not only these companies are big and serious. Here in Russia, gaming is also quite popular. And War Thunder, the company that makes this game, is actually from Russia. And if you haven't heard about Warhammer Space Marine 2, their main head office also is located in St. Petersburg. They were quite successful, and they're, I guess, working on something new right now. So if you are a IT specialist, if you're a programmer, you surely will find a company to work just for you. But talking about what is a IT worker, it is important to note that in Russia there is quite a number of support measures for the IT industry. But the IT worker is defined quite widely. It is not only someone, as I mentioned, not only a programmer, but basically it could be a person just looking at the network at some of the company of a significant size. So if you're just a good, honest IT supporter, you just can IT support person, you, I think, surely can find a job for you in Russia and have some of the benefits that will be mentioned here right now. But one of the benefits is tax breaks or lower tax regimes for the IT workers. And also there, of course, it's a quite complex system, and the tax breaks are provided as well as for workers and for the companies themselves. There is a special list of the IT companies that get these benefits, but it's a very extensive list. It just exists to not to have a fraudulent companies running around claiming that they are doing something in IT and development of the software and then just or hardware and then just getting all the federal funds. But you can get those benefits. But additionally to that, there is a special mortgage rate of 5% yearly for IT workers. So getting your own home is also easier if you're a specialist in this field. But aside from this, again, as I mentioned, there are a few additional benefits that the state provides for the companies, but also there are lots of benefits that are provided by the companies themselves, since they want to attract the most competent workers possible, and they have lots and lots of ways to support not only comfortable offices, but some additional benefits, maybe vacation time. And one just second, please. Additional vacation days, for example, could be provided for IT workers, and there is quite a few, by the way, professions that also in Russia by law are required to give their employees additional paid vacation days, and there are some special conditions that also provide you with additional vacation days. For example, if you're working in far north, maybe if it's your thing, you will get your vacation extended. But there are additional things that won't get in today. But yeah, legal protections are not that simple, and it's quite extensive topic by itself. But moving on from IT, going back to the general picture, what you can find, where to look for job in Russia. The first thing you can go to is Headhunter. It's the most popular website for to look for a job. You will find their work, not only positions, not only in Russian, but in English as well. Mostly in Russian, of course, and it's also covers huge varieties of companies and employment fields. Also, LinkedIn, it's banned in Russia. You can't get it without a VPN, but it's still used by some companies, for example, in financial sector. And everything basically that located in Moscow or St. Petersburg, those companies, if they have some focus on financials or just looking for very high skilled personnel, they will use LinkedIn. So browsing LinkedIn won't be fruitless, even though you will have maybe some issues with communication there with Russian companies. But aside from those two, there is a lot of hidden places where you will be able to find job, and that are dependent on the field you're actually looking job in. So there is lots of Telegram channels and Facebook groups. And by the way, Facebook also is banned in Russia as an extremist organization, but it's still used somewhere, somehow. But these Telegram channels, Facebook groups, and VK groups will provide you with work opportunities, quite often those that you will be able to find on Headhunter or other websites. So maybe if you're interested, we can make a video or a bunch of posts on Telegram to just share with you where to look for a job in specific sectors of the economy. But with that, we thank you for your attention today, and it is time for your questions. I will go to our chat, and if there is any questions you want to ask about maybe employment in specific fields, or maybe some cultural things related to the working in Russia, please share it with us, and I will happily answer them. Or again, don't be shy, message us on WhatsApp and on Telegram, the number I will show on the screen just in a minute or so, and we will happily answer all your questions. And again, you can go and look at our social media. First thing is our Telegram or our website, and we will share with you all our knowledge that we have. Well, unfortunately, I don't see any questions. So with that, I want to thank you for being here today with us. And if you're watching in the recording, please, hopefully you found the answers to your questions. And also don't be shy contacting us today. I will show now on the screen. You can see our email. It is contact@living-in-russia.com. Our phone number that you can message us on Telegram or on WhatsApp. And you can go to livinginrussia.com and also see the additional information that is provided there. And I want to note that on the website we have a very well-organized, in-depth guide that talks about many questions of moving to Russia. We focus on getting visas and what kind of visas are provided. And if you go to our previous stream, there we've touched on a few bits of information related to visas. And as well, if you go and subscribe to our Telegram channel, there we post bits of information specific for all kinds of steps that you can make to move to Russia and have no legal issues doing it. So with that, I want to thank everyone for being here today, for listening for this presentation, and I wish you a good evening or maybe good day if you're listening to us as a recording, and tell you have a nice day and